This reading is going to be from Bat Spirit. I will show you guys the area and then we'll go ahead and find out what Bat has to say for us right now. Okay, so message from Bat, please. We have Naughties, which is speaking to us about some sort of requirement, some sort of need. We also have Jera, which is speaking to us about the year, so longer term cycles. It is also an awareness of when to harvest, seizing opportunities when they are ripe. So the two of these together coming out in the beginning indicate to me that this is needing to make sure that you are attentive and that you don't waste resources that are available to you, making sure that you are taking those opportunities to really harvest what is going to help you in your life. We have manas, so there is also a sense of unity. This is a representation of humanity. So it is a unity that is achieved through cooperative efforts of a larger whole, but realizing the diversity within that wholeness, the wholeness of that entity. So if everyone is good at the same thing, then that leaves a lot of holes and a lot of weaknesses for us to complete tasks. And this is one of the beauties of working collectively and tapping into our collective consciousness, is that we have these different strengths and these different points that we can use to leverage progress because of the diversity that we bring. So this is about appreciating that diversity. We have Hagalaz, which is hail representation, and this carries an energy that is disruptive. So there is a sense or a feeling that part of this necessity is knowing when to seek cover, knowing when to seek rest. And this being the sense that when there is a hailstorm, people usually don't run out and bask in it and enjoy. Typically, when hail shows up, people are taking cover, they are waiting, there's a stillness, and then there's an understanding that once the hailstorm passes, there typically is going to be some space where repair is needed. So that is this type of energy of respecting the cycles and understanding when to work with them and how to work with them. We also have Berkana, which is our nurturing feminine energy. So there is a sense that growth and protection are part of this cycle as well. It does feel like to me that it is growth through this diversity, though. Not all life can exist in the same space. And that's, Berkana is reminding us that where, one of the phrases that's coming to mind is like, where your love goes, love grows, kind of a thing. So Berkana in this reading is reminding us that we get to focus on what we want to nurture. We get to focus on what we want to build up. Part of that is an understanding that challenges and tough cycles are inherent in our experience, but we use those as opportunities for growth. We use those as opportunities for nurturing and building into existence what we want. We have Rido is sitting over here, and it was partially covered, and it's been pulling my attention since the beginning of the reading, and I'm just now pulling it out after the initial foundation. So what this tells me, Rido carries with it the energy of a journey, of movement, something in progress. So it was partially covered or partially obstructed, but the energy of it was pulling to me. And it only came out after I laid down this foundation. So there is an understanding of, again, knowing timing, that the movement is happening, the journey is in progress, but it is important to know when to take your steps, knowing when to rest and take cover from the things that would exhaust you, from the things that would deplete you, and then knowing when to come back and replenish or take your next step forwards as you're working on these nurturing points in your journey. We also have Kenaz coming out. Kenaz is our personal illumination. It is the torch energy, and it tells us that wherever we go, we always have the capacity to light our way, the capacity to gain understanding and direction when we are uncertain. So we are being reminded that we do have that power, and it is a matter of remembering to call upon it when we feel uncertain about which stages we are in and what direction to take. Informed decision making is better than reactive decision making in these long-term processes. We have Wunjo, and Wunjo is our joy, it's our satisfaction, it is our contentment. So in this particular reading, it is feeling more like that sense of accomplishment. You know, when you feel proud about completing a task or a project, you have something to show for the work you've done. It's that type of energy. So we have that moving with this cycle work. There is a pride in it, but it is a pride that is healthy, a humble, healthy pride of realizing the accomplishments that you have made, the contributions that you are creating for humanity. We have Sewelo, which is our sun. So we do have overall illumination and a guiding light in this entire process and this entire journey. So it is a sense tying in that as you do your work and as you are making decisions and nurturing what is important to you, this is then creating a sense that you are becoming a beacon of light for others. And as you strengthen, they strengthen. And together, a community is stronger than an individual. So that is the type of energy I'm getting from Suelo. It has everything to do with we are stronger together than we are apart. We shine brighter when we are together than we do when we're apart. We have this rune right here that was sitting on its side, and this is Ewaz. Ewaz represents horse energy, and it also represents companionship. So we have a further understanding that there is going to be union, there is going to be more than just yourself in the process of carrying out an understanding of how to work within these cycles. This companionship, though, is more of an intimate level. It's more of a personal level. So we're thinking close friends, we're thinking small communities, and we're thinking of the people that we turn to in the times when we are just needing perhaps a shoulder to cry on. It's that type of support of just being able to share and express, hey, this is where I'm at on my journey, this is what's happening, this is how I'm feeling. Thank you for listening to me. It's not necessarily that I need you to provide solutions or action steps. It more is someone being there for you that can help just hear you. That is such an important part of you making progress on this journey and figuring out how to tune into these cycles and when to harvest and when to wait. So that is our reading from Bat Spirit. I want to thank your guides and my guides, and I want to thank the runes for their guidance in this reading. Be well, and I'll see you guys at the next reading. This message is going to be from the Puma Spirit. So I'll show you the area, and then we'll start the reading. Message, please, from Puma. Message from Puma. The first part of the message, Ewaz, which is our horse energy. So this is companionship. This is connection between the earth plane and the celestial planes. Spiritual guidance type of energy. Right underneath it we had Athala. And Athala is about inheritance and legacy. So the foundation of this spiritual guidance is created based off of what ancestors have laid down for us, what we've learned from our teachers and our families. There's this journey and guide work in this reading has a foundation. It's not something that's new. It is something that there is already an understanding or an ability to connect with the spiritual side of things. And at the very bottom was Wunjo. Wunjo is our rune of joy and satisfaction. So the primary message in this reading so far from Puma is actually that there has been a lot of joy and satisfaction that has gone into previous generations, teachers and guides here on the earth plane that have established a foundation for future generations such as yourself to be able to embark upon spiritual journeys, spiritual awakenings. That it's a very positive, it's a very uplifting feeling. A lot of strong, powerful, happy, satisfying, fulfilling energy with connecting to spirit, connecting to source, having access to your spiritual team. That is the overall foundation of the rest of this reading. We have Isa, which is ice. And we have Manas, which is humanity. And Kenas, which is torch energy. So there is a sense that there can be limitations or blind spots. There can be a stubbornness or an inability to see from other perspectives at times as you move along this journey and you work with your spiritual development. This reading in particular is very spiritual feeling. And so in comparison to more mundane personal development, real world, everyday, like interpersonal skills, this one is feeling much more like this is your soul growth, is what we're talking about in this reading. So with this stubbornness and this resistance to acknowledging other perspectives, there is Kenas is the torch and lighting the way, and Menas, as I said, is humanity. So with Athala, sorry, not Shakespeare here, that would be Othello. So with this, there is an understanding that relying on others to help give you direction, paying attention to what others are saying, the guidance they're providing, learning from the trials and tribulations that they have gone on that have brought them to the point that they currently are, that they have the wisdom they have to share. So the next element of this message, we have Sawelo, which is the sun, and it was covering Hagalaz, which is the hail. So in this particular situation, the energy that I'm picking up from this is that we are needing to be careful to not dismiss the challenges and struggles that we do face along this particular journey, this particular leg of our spiritual development, because there will be setbacks. There are emotional challenges and struggles that happen as we grow and as we evolve. With Sawelo being on top, and this joy and satisfaction energy that was over here, this is coming out as an indication to not gloss things over, to acknowledge when the development is challenging, when the emotions are hard to manage. because the growth process, the development for this spiritual advancement, it does have those challenges, and the challenges are part of how we grow. So it is important to celebrate the victories as we move along, but make sure not to dismiss the challenges that you face by having a sunny disposition, or trying to overlook the things that are challenges. Additionally, we have Laguz. So this is the lake. This is about our intuition. It's about our third eye. We have Awaz, which is Yggdrasil. It's the world tree. So it is about alignment. It is about connection between all of the realms. And we have Berkana, which is the birch tree. And this one is about nurturing feminine energy. So what is coming together for the completion of this message in this reading from Puma is the alignment and the development are there, and seeking this development and this alignment is what will allow you to dive deeper into the realm of the unconscious, the things that operate outside of our mundane everyday living. And as we work with that alignment, and we nurture and we practice these gifts, these psychic abilities that are developing, the things that are bringing us more in touch with the non-physical realms, around, like realms that have a vast trove of resources for us as we integrate and really develop our wholeness. There is nurturing and support within this process. So it is an indication that there is birthing, something new is coming about. And it really feels like this new energy that is coming into being is more of you stepping into your power. So it's not that you are unaware of your power as an individual, as your co-creative powers. This is more of you are now at a place where you've been practicing and you're really dedicated to those skills, the meditation, the lucid dreaming, the things that are going to bring you in and connect you with your guides and your guardians. And in that way, you are really stepping into the next level of your power, of your spiritual development. So this is almost like a new level, a different level of a spiritual awakening, like you're leveling up. So that is the message from Puma Spirit. And I would like to take this time to thank your guides, to thank my guides, and to thank the runes themselves for delivering this message. And of course, thank you to Puma Spirit for providing this particular message. Be well, everyone, and I will see you at the next reading. This reading is going to be from Frog Spirits. So I will show you the area, and then we'll see what Frog Spirit has to say. Frog Spirit, what message do you have for us? Frog Spirit. The very first rune that came up was Thurisaz. Thurisaz is our rune of the lightning. So this is change through fire energy. It is also a form of illumination. And the illumination, what this is saying so far is that only through change are we able to see things sometimes. When things have been the same for so long, it can be hard to see different perspectives. And so Thurisaz is helping us understand that this type of change, it's creating space for new growth. It's also allowing us to see things that we maybe have been blind to. And in terms of being blind to certain things, we have one rune that is on its side, which is acting as a blind spot for us. So this particular rune is Othala. And Othala is about legacy and inheritance. So this is indicating to me a lack of understanding that what we do affects future generations, or where we stand right now is because of work and sacrifice that other generations have made for us. So there is a need to have appreciation and an awareness of the interconnectedness between generations. We also have you're probably too far away, but the frogs are making noise now. We'll see. It's hard for me to know what picks up on my camera and what doesn't. So we have Lagus, which is lake energy. It is it's energy that connects us to our third eye. So this is about inner knowing. This is about having the ability to walk between conscious awareness and what lays below the consciousness. And there is a richness in that in-between realm, being able to understand the value of what each side holds for us. So this one right here feels like a transitory energy. This is about being in between. This is about understanding that you have the option and the choice to move between this realm and that realm, that you're not limited to one or the other, and you can collect and utilize information and resources from both areas. So we also have Tiwaz, which is about balancing. And we have Oros, which is about our strength and endurance. So sitting underneath Lagus and unaware to the conscious mind because of the fact that they were flipped over, but directly in a pile. These are foundational energies that are available to you when you are operating inside that subconscious realm, when you're operating inside the realm that is a little more non-physical. So there is strength there, and there is balance and justice. And that type of energy is going to help you navigate moving in between the physical and non-physical realms as you do the type of transformative work that you are setting your mind to at the moment. We have, actually now that I'm looking at the reading from this side, we have two other runes that are acting as blind spots. One of them is Fehu. Fehu is about our financial wealth, our resources, the ability for us to do well in the physical plane, in the earth realm. So, building upon the foundations that have been laid before us, that is part of how we are going to come into our wealth and our prosperity. It's an understanding that we are not meant to do things alone and to start from scratch. So seeking out those resources, seeking out that wealth of knowledge and information that will lend itself to the development of your skills, in the sense that your skills that you develop in this lifetime, they are the doorway to how you have a fruitful life here in the earth plane. And it's unclear to me why it keeps being differentiated between earth plane and non-physical, but that is the message, and so I am telling it as it's coming through. Sometimes I have an understanding for why, and sometimes I don't, so in this case, not so much. We also have Ingwaz. Ingwaz is our seed energy. So these three blind spots, Othala, Fehu, and Ingwaz, really are telling us that it is important not to overlook the foundational groundwork that goes into our wealth and our stability, the way that we are going to prosper and experience comfort in this lifetime. So don't forsake those elements of the physical existence. They are here for a reason. They are part of how we are supposed to experience this stage in our soul growth. We have Rido, which is journey energy. So this is about movement. Something is happening. A cycle is either underway or it will be beginning soon. It's new energy cycle because we have nurturing from Berkana, the birch tree. And again, with what we were seeing with Ingwaz, with seed energy. So there is a newness coming in, a new understanding, a new appreciation, something along those lines that is going to be working into the development of us moving in between conscious and unconscious awareness, as we develop psychic gifts and harness the ability to connect with unity in that capacity. We have Jera, which is our energy of the year. It is also about harvesting. So this is about knowing when along the cycle to take certain actions. This is about knowing when to reap the rewards, when to cash in on the things that you have developed, when to celebrate victories. That's just coming through right now, is understanding that as you go through these steps and you do these little things, as you're practicing new skills and abilities, it is important. Sometimes I think we can get too focused on the future, like what's on the horizon, and we forget to celebrate the victories that we have already achieved. So Jera is reminding us to celebrate those victories, acknowledge the wins that we've had. over here in this cluster of 3, we have Manas, which is unity. It is humanity. We have Ansus. Had to pause for just a minute. So we have Manas and we have Ansus. Ansus is communication. It is tied with Odin, so there is a wisdom, an overall governance, a protection, but also a call for continued personal development. So really pushing yourself beyond the bounds of what you know and what you're comfortable with. And we have Naudis, and Naudis is fate. It is tied with the 3 Norns in Norse mythology. So there are lessons to be learned in this lifetime. There are things we don't necessarily know what they are, but they are lessons we are meant to learn during this lifetime. And tapping into communication, connecting ourselves with all forms of wisdom is what is going to help us be able to make choices along this path for these different lessons that we are meant to experience in this lifetime. With Manas being here, there is an understanding that this development that you are working on, this connection, this bridge between the physical and the non-physical, is for, again, it's for the betterment of more than just you. So these changes that are happening, this energetic shift and change that we saw with Thurisaz, and the potential blind spot with Athala, this is a reminder that the work that you are doing, the development, the lessons, the growing, is for the benefit of all. It may seem very personal. It may seem like it is just something that you are meant to learn. But what I'm getting is, as you develop personally, as you learn, you become a better resource. You become a better component of the whole. And so there is value in that. We also have Gabo. And Gabo is the energy of exchange, like gifting through equal exchange. So again, we have this understanding that foundational work is being done, and when you develop as an individual, the lessons you learn, the things that the wisdom you're able to bring will help someone else on their journey. And this is part of how we continue to lay foundations for those that will come after us. And I'm pretty sure you can hear the ravens, so there's 2 of them up there. There's one. I don't know, I can't see the other one right now, but we have Odin energy coming in again strong. So there really is information about guiding wisdom, and that wisdom is important for the benefit of the collective. The final piece that we have is Hagalaz, and this is an indication of stuck emotional energy, outbursts of emotion. So there is an indication that there is some lack of flow, there is some lack of continuity, and it is important to work on balancing this so that the other pieces in this process, in this message, can unfold in the most beneficial way for you. So that is our message from Frog Spirit. I would like to take this time to thank your guides and my guides. I would like to thank the runes And I would like to thank Frog Spirit for helping us receive this message. I am wishing you well, and I will see you at the next reading.